This guy's a slot bucket of a human being.
It's lit. Just take a look at the drip. You boys don't get fired in this. Roll a dope, yeah, I'm high as a bitch. Wait.
Alright, what's going on YouTube? So the other day I was looking for another puke slurping stench weasel to shovel onto my channel for views when I came across a Kiwi Tapes video about a man named Jupiter the Hybrid. Now this charming face that you see on your screen right now is Jupiter, aka the panty dropper. Now before we continue, there's a few things you should know about this absolute fucking stud muffin. He is a werepire blood dragon hacker that can breathe life into inanimate objects called homunculus to use as a food source. He's also into kids. Just taking a look at Jupiter's life, it would appear that he's just always had every debuff in the game. He was taken away from his birth parents around the age of 1, was given to a foster family where he grew up alongside his adopted brothers, both of which were pedophiles. One was arrested for CP and the other for sexual assault on a minor. Jupiter then ended up adopting some of his brother's behaviors, which then landed his dumbass in a group home where he took to the internet to start spreading his slimy, wormy bullshit across social media, eventually catching the attention of another content creator that goes by the name of Linda Binda, who ran a couple of interviews with Jupiter where he basically just admits to everything that he did. He would also try and impress Linda with these made-up stories that made him sound like this really cool comic book superhero action man in hopes of a relationship with Linda. Here I have a clip where Jupiter is trying to convince Linda that he was a part of this super secret hacking group called the Nerd Brigade. This shit is gold.
It's like this. Hold on, let me take it off for a minute.
Yeah, take it all off. I mean,
I know, you want to see me like that, but I ran with a group of hackers back in Melba when I was young, when I was in high school. I ran with a group of hackers. I'm telling you the truth, I used to run with a group of hackers.
oh wow.
It was fun while it lasted, too. When our boss man graduated and moved on to greener pastures, he left me in charge. And my friend Skylar at the time, who was my then rival, usurped power from me and took over.
Wow, that's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, the Nerd Brigade is what we called ourselves back then. We called ourselves the Nerd Brigade because we were just a bunch of computer nerds. And the thing is, back then we got paid a lot back then, but then after our boss man moved on and handed the reins to me, my best friend Skylar stole the power out from under me. He usurped me and basically took over and turned the whole guild, that we called ourselves a guild back then, the whole guild into a group of punks.
Oh wow. So
Degenerates.
what do you do now?
This and that. I dabble here and there. I'm not really sure what I do.
You know, I've seen dudes lie about shit to get into women's pants all the time. They say shit like they served in the military or that they're rich, maybe they say they're a firefighter, but never have I ever seen a dude lie about being the leader of an undercover elite hacker group called the Nerd Brigade. Listen, maybe he just cracked the code when it comes to getting women. And if you thought Jupiter's little hacker story was entertaining, just wait till he tells you about how at one point he was known as the King of Thieves.
I was the King of Thieves at one point out in Melba, so you probably picked up a few things from me.
Yeah, oh, I probably did. You taught me a lot.
Yes, picking pockets was easy back then, but not anymore. I don't do it no more. I'm actually confessing that I used to be a thief. Before I ran with the Nerd Brigade, I used to be a street corner thief. A kid who would steal stuff from other kids to sell to other kids on a black market, So I started that up. And then before I realized it, I was getting some fame and infamy.
So all of these embarrassing fanfics that Jupiter has cooked up in his head seem to just be an attempt to impress Linda. Over-the-top depictions of him pickpocketing and being known as the King of Thieves, which let him become a hacker that leads a super-secret hacker organization. It's genuinely pathetic, but Jupiter's delusions don't stop here. We've only scratched the surface of his bullshit ramblings. Basically, Jupiter wants us to believe that his mother was a werewolf and his father was a vampire, making him a vampire-werewolf hybrid that he calls a werepire. Truly riveting stuff. So after he spews his bullshit, Linda, I guess, tries her hand at a gotcha moment by asking Jupiter how he gets his blood, and Jupiter had a swift response stating that he can breathe life into inanimate objects called homunculi, where he then sucks their blood to sustain himself. I'll play the clip and let you see it for yourself.
Wait,
That's my whole style.
Someone asked, since you're a vampire, do you drink blood?
Not human blood, no. I use that as a last ditch attempt if I ever, yeah. I don't drink human blood. I don't do that. I use it as a last ditch attempt.
So what blood do you drink?
Usually animal blood. I can bring inanimate objects to life and use them as a blood source. They're known as homunculi, and they're used as a blood source.
So, like, you would find, like, a rabbit on the side of the road and just drink its blood?
Yeah, something like that. Although I prefer to drink blood from a homunculus that I've created.
What was the last animal you ate?
It was an inanimate object that I drank blood from, and I'd rather not get her now because she doesn't like being on camera. She's shy, so I can't really.
Well, can you bring another inanimate object on? They want to meet. They want to meet some of your friends.
This was one of the inanimate objects I brought to life. Her name's Shiratora. Although people call her Twilight, her name I gave her was Shiratora, which is translated to shooting star. But sometimes I call her Star for short, but sometimes I'll just call her by her name. So she's one of the many homunculi I brought to life.
So what do you do to her?
I just used the blood ritual to bring her to life, and that was it. That's all it took.
But what do you do to her once that she's alive? What do you do?
Well, we cement a contract, and then boom. She's alive for good, and she's able to be drank from,
How do you drink from her?
Normally I bite her. Just saying, normally I'll bite her.
Okay, yeah, that sounds fun. I sometimes like to bite Barry the bee.
Yeah, but only if you want to bring Barry to life, use it only once. Because if you bring multiple objects to life, it's viable that one of them will turn against you.
Okay, and so that was the last thing that you brought to life?
Yeah. Her and I have a bunch of kids, but I don't really want to bring them on camera,
Yeah.
Since she has life to her, she is able to give birth to children and stuff like that, so...
So, like, you've had children with her?
Yeah, but I made her promise no more after, like, our last set of triplets. I told her no more. I was done. So, yeah.
So, like, how does she get pregnant?
I don't want to explain it to you. It involves a lot of magic and pornography. That's all I'm going to say.
Alright, so Jupiter wants us to believe that he brought his My Little Pony stuffed animal to life and then proceeded to get it pregnant multiple times, and that the process involves, and I quote, a lot of magic and pornography. When I first saw Jupiter, I thought that he was just making all this up to impress Linda, but the more I digest this nasty water shit, I see that he might actually believe everything he's saying about the werepires and homunculi. Now, up until this point, Jupiter's actions were more goofy and embarrassing than malicious, but during one of the interviews Linda was hosting, Jupiter drops a pretty heavy bomb about how he had sex with a woman who went on to press charges on him for rape, all because his little sister told her to. It's a pretty loose story, and it chills me to the bone to wonder if it's true or not, or what actually happened. I'll play the clip and let you decide.
She did after I fucked her.
What?
Pressed rape charges on me. After that, she went to the police and said, I raped her due to my little sister telling her to do it. Yeah, she's a little bitch, but I still love her. She's my little sister after all.
Honestly, I don't really believe him. I just find it really hard to believe that a grown-ass woman was influenced to do something that horrible all because your little sister told her to. And if that wasn't bad enough, here I have stone-cold evidence that shows Jupiter basically just admitting to the fact that he was soliciting minors. And this wasn't just once. There are multiple cases of him entertaining sexually charged conversations with minors over Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. Let me play the clip.
I've stopped. I quit doing that. There were some who contacted me on Discord, but I kind of blocked them and left their chats because I didn't want to be kept being set up. So I said it would be better if we all stayed friends until they're older, but until then, we're just going to remain friends, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I should have said the first time, but instead I was high and exhausted at the time, so I wasn't thinking clearly.
So Jupiter's excuse was that he hadn't had any sleep and that he was high on nicotine. And so because of that, he decided to do the lowest, nastiest fucking thing any person could do and sexually harass minors over social media. In what fucking world does nicotine make you high? In what fucking world is that an excuse to speak to actual fucking children in a sexual manner? Jupiter is a sewage pit of lies and harassment charges. The simple fact that he thinks saying sorry will justify something as vile as soliciting minors makes me sick to my stomach. I have no empathy for Jupiter or anyone that follows in his footsteps. Here I have one final clip to show you that really seals his name in the big book of pedophiles. Now this clip is from Kiwi Tape's live interview with Jupiter. I'll leave a link to Kiwi's channel down below. Go check him out, show him some love.
Yes, I was wrongfully hurting kids that I shouldn't have. Yes, I was a pedophile, and I've changed that now, and I'm changed. And I want all the families I ruined to know that I'm changed now, and I will come and literally apologize to all of you face to face if I have to. I will apologize, and I am apologizing publicly for my actions. I have no ill will against anyone who hates me still. I have no ill will. But yes, I am a pedophile, yeah, but that changes today. And that changes in every way today. Joke. We decided to joke. I didn't know she was 15 because she lied to me, so I didn't know.
No, you're lying to us.
Rare. You know what? If I die, I die. Who gives a shit?
Why are you talking about
Jesus.
that?
There it is, in black and white. He just admits to being a pedophile on live. And if you're wondering what he was talking about, like dying and all of that shit, it's because in Iowa they passed a law where pedophiles could potentially face the death penalty. He's just kind of freaking out about that. I'm not really that sorry for him. If Jupiter didn't want to deal with the death penalty, he probably should have thought about that before going after children. Actions have consequences. Kiwi said in his live stream that all of the evidence that they collected on stream was sent to the authorities, and I'm not sure whatever happened to Jupiter, but at the time of Kiwi's video being uploaded, he said the authorities were looking into him. So I hope he got what he deserved. But that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys liked, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and comment down below what your favorite part of the video was. Have a blessed day. Peace.